Welcome back, guys, and welcome if this is your first time joining. In today's video, we will dive into how to mix up your workouts so you can keep crushing your fitness goals and adding muscle. We will cover what progressive overload is, what variables you can mix up to help you improve your training, and results of incorporating progressive overload into your fitness routine. I am an ACE certified personal trainer and have helped countless people with different programs and progressions for years. If you want to gain muscle and be the healthiest version of yourself, there are certain principles that need to be adhered to. No matter what exercises you use and how you spend your time, progressive overload is something that should not be ignored if you want to see results. Trust me, having lifted weights for 19 years, I would love to save you the time and wasted energy by learning from my mistakes. So, what is progressive overload? Can you gain muscle without it? Well, newbie gains starting out are real, meaning you can see progress when running, lifting, or doing sports initially. Results can then quickly plateau. In this video, I will show you how progressive overload can help you progress and bring other health benefits with it. I have 8 tips to help improve your fitness and use progressive overload to your advantage. The 4th and 7th tips are my favorite. Now, progressive overload is gradually over time increasing the intensity or different variables in your workout to increase muscle size, strength, or endurance. You can increase weight, frequency, or repetitions to name a few. This in turn challenges your body in new ways as it grows stronger and improves physically. It allows your musculoskeletal system to get stronger. Although this principle is typically applied to strength training, it can be used for cardiovascular training, exercises like running, swimming, or rowing, to name a couple. By changing up your workouts, you can avoid plateaus. Whether you like barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, body weight, or are a runner, progressive overload applies. The goal is to mix things up to keep progressing and force your body to change. If you always do the same workout and use the same weight, it's not forcing your body to adapt. Your body will not change unless it's forced to. Over time, something that starts out challenging will get easier. A plateau is a good sign that you've made progress, but it also shows a need to evolve. To get you started, there are some fundamental important tips when exercising and implementing progressive overload. First, focus on good form above all else. You don't want to get hurt. If you do get hurt, you won't be able to progress because you will not be working out, instead recovering. Next, only change one thing at a time. If you change multiple variables, it will make it harder to know what is actually working. The final tip is to make sure you log your workouts to track progress. Keep a workout journal or notes on your phone. You won't know if you're getting stronger or able to do more repetitions unless you're really tracking things. If you're new, please subscribe. If you're returning, turn on notifications. Leave comments. Please let us know if this is the kind of topic you want to hear more about or what else you would like to learn about. Now, here are my top 8 suggestions to mix things up so you can use progressive overload to your advantage. The first thing you can do is increase or change the amount of repetitions you complete. If you've been using the same weight for a few weeks and have been able to do 10 reps with good form, challenge yourself and move up to 12. And then later 15 repetitions over time. If this gets to the point where it's no longer challenging, this is where you should add weight. The second thing you can do is introduce more volume. To boost volume, you are simply adding more sets. If you still have energy after doing 3 sets of squats, try adding a 4th set, then a 5th set over a number of weeks. Find a good zone where you're not overtraining but still progressing. While it is easy to get too much volume, you can always have weeks with more sets, followed by a week with less sets, known as a deload, mentioned in one of our previous videos. You don't have to do the same volume every week. Listen to your body. Remember, every workout day can feel different, and your energy levels will vary some from day to day. The third variable you can change is to increase the weight you're lifting. This is one of the most common ways to implement progressive overload by increasing the load or resistance. I would recommend going slow to avoid injury. I know many gym bros and gals think you can only go up by 45-pound increments. Believe it or not, this could not be more false. True progress is made in the gym by those who go week after week and increase by 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds, just little by little. Do a little at a time and you'll be surprised to see how it adds up over the course of 6 months, a year, and so forth. The 4th variable you can alternate is rest time, or even reducing rest time from time to time to change things up. We've covered in another video called The Forgotten Part of Training how longer rest times are generally best for muscle gain and hypertrophy. More on this later. This is especially true for taxing compound lifts such as deadlift, squat, or bench press. However, if you are pressed for time and want a more high-intensity training to push yourself, there's nothing wrong with trying a circuit style from lift to lift, or only going 30 seconds between exercises at times. Also, if you usually take 4 minutes between lifts, you could try 3 minutes and 30 seconds, just shaving 30 seconds off and seeing how it impacts your strength results. The fifth variable connects to rest by increasing intensity. What I mean by this is by training to near failure sometimes, or momentary failure. I think, speaking for myself, I can get in the habit of going to the gym and being consistent with hitting main lifts. However, I'm so conditioned at going through the motions that I can have reps left in the tank and I'm not pushing as hard as I can occasionally. Going to momentary failure, where you push so hard you either can't complete anymore or only have 1 or 2 more repetitions left in the tank, can be crucial to push your body to grow. It's a fun way to train. Remember, always be safe and either do an exercise you can manage on your own or bring a friend to spot you. The sixth variable has to do with increased frequency. You can manipulate all kinds of things with this variable, in which you can change how often you train or how you train different muscle groups. For example, you could put different muscle groups together, where biceps could be part of an arm training, or they could be part of a back workout. You pick. You can train muscles once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week to mix things up. Most studies I have seen show that hitting each muscle about 2 times a week is optimal for the average person. You can do this by spreading out training volume, doing a full body lift, or doing shorter lifts all throughout the week to keep your body guessing. The seventh variable could be increasing or decreasing tempo. Whatever speed you're lifting, change it up. You will find that if you rush through repetition, slowing it down can make things more difficult with the same weight. If you really squeeze and hold tension or take more time coming down with the eccentric part of the lift, it will truly feel like a new kind of workout. On the other end, if you lift slowly and are under control, try speeding up the volume and pumping up your muscles. This will also make you feel totally different than what you're used to. You could even try 1 burnout set at the end, pumping out as many repetitions as you can until you can no longer complete anymore. My eighth and final recommendation is adding variety overall to your training routine. You can change the order of your exercises, add new exercises, try slightly different angles, or change the time of day you're working out. You can try exercises that are similar to what you're doing with a different spin on it. For example, you can exchange a traditional back squat for a goblet squat. You can change out a barbell chest press for a dumbbell one instead. These little changes can stimulate your body in new ways. These 8 changes can really make a difference. I would suggest isolating, trying them one at a time, and see what works best for you with getting results. Leave comments below and let us know what's worked best for you. When thinking of progressive overload, I would encourage you to look at things from a big picture, macro level. As you get stronger and increase your endurance, it does more than simply increase athletic ability and performance. It can put off or delay age-related muscle loss or disease. In addition, it could increase your mobility and freedom with daily activities. It can fight off a lot of chronic diseases like obesity, arthritis, heart disease, depression, and diabetes. Honestly, what's not to like? Now, these benefits won't come from lifting weights once in a while, but instead by consistently lifting at least a couple days a week. In addition, don't forget to aim for about 150 minutes of low-impact cardiovascular training a week. I would recommend either starting to make resistance training a part of your life or increasing the intensity to keep implementing progressive overload in your training. Here are a few general examples. If you can do 10 bodyweight squats or barbell squats at a set weight, try 12 a couple weeks later. Then another week or 2, try 15. If you can do a bicep curl with 15-pound dumbbells, try 20 pounds a week or 2 later. A few weeks from there, try 22.5 pounds, and so forth. Only move up when the weight is becoming easier. For those who enjoy running, start with whatever baseline is comfortable for you. If you can run 2 days a week for 20 minutes, start there. Then a little later, try 3 times a week for 20 minutes if you're recovering. From there, work up from 3 20-minute runs to 30 to 40-minute runs. Remember, always listen to your body and work up in slow increments as you build endurance or with any exercise. If you're not yet convinced, progressive overload will stimulate hypertrophy, which will help you gain lean muscle mass. The definition of hypertrophy is the increase in volume of an organ or tissue due to the enlargement of the cells, basically increasing muscle mass. Hypertrophy is when muscle growth exceeds muscle breakdown. For muscles to actually grow, a stimulus has to be applied. This stimulus needs to be novel and varied to be effective, such as the progressive overload with weights we've discussed. Stimulus could be resistance training, body weight, or some kind of isometric tension. One basic parameter is that the stimulus when lifting weights or resistance training should be anywhere from about 5 to 30 reps for the muscle to grow. A wide range, but still important to know. Try to implement effective workouts, good nutrition, and sleep to promote hypertrophy and make adjustments to compound lifts and structure as needed. If you incorporate resistance training in your daily life, mitigate stress, eat a really high protein, nutrient-dense diet, and focus on creating an environment for muscle growth, it will help foster hypertrophy and better health. It'll help to avoid falls, you'll move easier, you will age better. This is why incorporating hypertrophy training and progressive overload are so key regardless of fitness level. Another main benefit to progressive overload is you will get stronger. It's empowering to be able to lift more weight and crush goals. Once you start to feel accomplished in this area, it can carry over to other areas of your life. Having the structure to get in a lift and push more resistance can help you push in other areas of your life and increase self-efficacy and confidence. Even if there is a rep range or type of lift you enjoy, eventually your body will stop responding. I would recommend changing it up at least every 6 to 8 weeks minimum to keep progressing. Obviously, you can't add weight forever. There are so many variables, ways to have fun, and new challenges to keep you consistent with your workouts. By implementing progressive overload into your training, you can keep gaining strength and increase hypertrophy by mixing up different variables. By changing different variables in your training, you can keep progressing in strength, endurance, and ability to have effective workouts. Let us know which of the 8 suggestions have helped you the most. For other fitness, protein, and supplement tips, check out our other videos. Subscribe and like to keep getting real practical fitness advice for everyday people.